What are you doing in my house? What are you doing in my house? I want waffle fry.
Welcome to Flamboyant Flamingo Facts. Get ready to discover the fascinating world of these vibrant birds. Did you know that flamingos' stunning pink feathers come from the diet of shrimp and algae? Flamingos have a remarkable feeding technique, using their curved beaks to filter tiny organisms from the water, upside down. When it comes to socializing, flamingos gather in large colonies and perform elaborate group dances to attract mates. Flamingo parents are devoted. Both the male and female take turns incubating the egg and caring for the adorable fluffy chicks. Fun fact: flamingos can sleep while standing on one leg. This unique behavior helps them conserve energy. Here's another fascinating fact. Flamingos are excellent flyers and can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour during migration. That's it for today's Flamingo Facts. Don't forget to subscribe and join us tomorrow for more extraordinary animals.
Did you know that in Island Living, the world Sulani, you can actually attend baby turtle hatching events? They're pretty fun and adorable. Also, the audio I initially used for this video and recorded it too, apparently I'm not actually allowed to use. Usually TikTok lets me know before I record. It didn't in this case, hence the watermark and the voiceover. Other fun facts about turtles include that they could live to be 150 years old. I learned that from Finding Nemo. Fun facts about Sulani, also the world that this is from. This is the first world where you were actually able to swim sort of in the ocean. Other worlds have beaches and water that looks like you should be able to swim in it, but it wasn't actually an option until after this pack released. It is my opinion, and the opinion of several other Sims players, that they should go back and actually fix some of those older worlds so that you can swim everywhere where it looks like you should be able to swim, but they haven't taken us up on that yet. This lot is play tested and ready to go. I did use a handful of debug items, including those light up palm trees, which are some of my favorite debug items from the Island Living pack. Enjoy! So when I saw this comment, no joke, my first thought was, can we make rattlesnake juice bar a rattlesnake? Starting with a clean lot, of course. I'm going to start with a few of these pieces and actually make a circle. Then copy this and sort of stagger another one over here, like that. I'm trying to get this edge to be as unmessed up as possible, but I think this is about as good as it's going to get. And then I'm going to make sort of a squiggly bit at the top for the neck. And finally draw a head. I might have to move it back on the lot a little bit because that's not enough space. So I think this is about as close as I can get to sort of a coiled up snake. I didn't want to just do a long wriggly one on the ground. I felt like that was cheating. And there is no way I'd be able to get the diamondback pattern on here, so I'm just going to make it Mediterranean instead. Now the only way to access this level would actually be to use a letter, which I don't feel like is a wise choice for a bar. So I think we'll just see what we can do in this amount of space, which really should be plenty. Start with all of the necessaries, of course, and we are going to have to play test this one for sure because I am having some weird issues that I don't usually have with things placing. Fun fact, if you're ever struggling to select something that's on a curved room, if you sort of pan the camera down, you can usually pick it up and move it again. We have all of the essentials, now we just have to go through and change up the lighting a little bit, make it pretty. And this is why I keep telling myself I'm not going to build with round rooms anymore. There we go. Now, I've never really been to bars because they're really loud, so if you're looking for something accurate, this is not going to help. Why is it not placing on the table? My goodness. That's not really, like, important for you to know. I just felt like I should say something while I'm putting stuff in here. But maybe I don't have to. We can just sit in silence. Well, I'm sick of fighting the round walls. Let's bring a sim in and see if it works. If it does, then I'll landscape. If not, I guess this video is over and was very sad. Apparently, in this file, the land grabs have a bajillion kids. Well, the door works, so that's great. Everything appears to be functioning, so let's landscape. The trash can has already been kicked over. I'll add a pond, I suppose. Because at this point, why not? Not gonna lie, this looked a lot cooler in my head, but I think it was still an excellent reminder as to why to not build with curved walls.
Ferrets are small, cute, and furry creatures that make great pets. They are playful and enjoy being around people. But they also like to have their own space. Ferrets are very active and need plenty of exercise. They also like to chew, so it's important to provide them with plenty of toys and space for them to run and play. They are known for being messy and a bit mischievous, but they are also very intelligent and can be trained to do tricks. Just be prepared for a little bit of mess and chaos when you bring a ferret into your home. Ferrets feed mainly on meat and require a high-protein diet, so you'll need to make sure you're giving them the right food. Ferrets are relatively easy to care for and can live up to 10 years with the proper care. But they are also susceptible to certain diseases, so it's important to regularly take them to the vet for checkups and vaccinations. And always make your own research before getting any pets.
Capybara, 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 capybara.
Okay, let's furnish a capybara. Kitten in the tummy. What has my life become?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for bringing this up. The Sims community does not talk enough about how difficult it can be to roof historical figure-shaped builds. Now, the first element you really need to consider is realism. Do you want this to still look like Laura Ingalls Wilder when it is roofed, or do you want it to be a bit of a surprise for whoever picks the build up off the gallery? If you prefer it to be a bit of a surprise, then we could totally go a traditional roofing route, right? We'll start putting down some roof pieces, and you best believe we are leaving no valleys. It is extremely important to treat our historically shaped builds with respect and dignity, just like they deserve. Now, you're probably going to run into a lot of awkward little places like this. Personally, I like to just take a diagonal half gable and sort of merge it as best I can. Usually the pitch ends up being pretty low, something like that. Now, faces are always going to be the most difficult part just due to the sheer amount of angles. Now, if you decide to just go for the traditional roof anyway, cover up those weird angles with the octagon roof shapes, you're probably going to end up looking like a really bad case of some mysterious 19th century disease. Of course, shaping the head too closely would definitely give away the element of surprise for your viewers, players on the gallery, so perhaps just using a single hipped roof would be best in the end anyway. So there's an idea as to how to roof your historical figure using traditional roof shapes. But maybe you're not ashamed. Maybe you really, really do want to show off your work and maybe even add more details. Here are some tips for that. Now, traditionally, you'll use rugs for eye placement. However, these can get pretty picky. The order that you put them down in is the order that they have to stay. Otherwise, they will just sort of layer on top of each other. For example, if I move this over here and put the white one on top, it's not actually going to stay on top. But it does make for some really nice eyes where you can really layer in those colors. And even add little highlights if you wanted to by holding Alt. So there's an example of how to make eyes. For the mouth, kind of the same deal. You could totally use a rug if you wanted to, or grab a low-lying fence for something a little bit more subtle. This can also be a really great way to add a nose. Generally, I'd say trees are a great way to add texture to hair, however, they're not usually the right color. You could try turning on Move Objects and just layering a whole bunch of other random brown or whatever your hair color is objects to try and get some of that texture. And don't forget to layer in a few other colors for, highlights and stuff. This can also really help soften up that edge of the hair. If you have a tighter curl pattern, use something a little bit smaller. And if it's straight hair, just consider layering on a few rugs again. Sized up ottomans can make fantastic buttons, and you don't have to hold shift to place multiple, they just keep coming. I hope these tips helped.